here.
People don't want to see what this government has done, and it's left for them. They want to be picking money on the street. They want government to be dashing money. Government is not Father Christmas. Government will only create the neighborhood.
No, but the people, I don't think that's what the people want, to be honest.
What do they want?
They don't want the government dashing them money. They want something that looks like a fair standard of living. Fair, like just good enough to be called a way to live. My work's done. The sun sets here. Mondays to Thursdays on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side, and a welcome to you. Welcome. I hope you really did enjoy your holiday. I really hope. Now, even though I spoke to a handful of you yesterday, and you felt that, well, there isn't much to talk about. I think everyone who called in yesterday, just honest to God, felt that there wasn't much to celebrate, given everything that's happening. Oh, by the way, the South African president sworn in, I think about an hour ago. The Nigerian president, went there yesterday. I think it was just out of curiosity. I wouldn't even say gossip. I'll just say out of curiosity. I wondered which South Africa, who was sent, or who made the list of the South African delegation to Nigeria when the president, was declared president and, of course, was to be sworn into office. I didn't find anything. I searched. I saw America. I saw Canada. I had my eyes on South Africa, but no, nothing. All right. Politics today. Okay, no, I think we should put politics on hold a little bit. If you have just tuned in, welcome to the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Yesterday, a very beautiful lady on WhatsApp. I could tell she was beautiful because I saw her picture profile. Even though I didn't look too hard. But she sent a very interesting message. Interesting because it appears as though there are a few people who are becoming conscious of a changing world. A world changing so fast that everybody else isn't recognizing it. Or maybe other people are recognizing it but never really seize a moment to stop and stare and realize, wait, why is the world changing so fast and what can we do? Like, why is it this way? A lot of people are not asking questions. A lot more others are asking questions. Or maybe they're asking themselves the questions internally. Others are verbalizing it. Like the young lady who sent us a message yesterday about screenwriting. And she said that the quality of home videos, particularly the ones you see on Netflix or maybe YouTube, she says they're themeless. In fact, the reason I'm bringing this back again today is because about 2 weeks ago, a screenwriter who's also a head manager of a media house was complaining to me how some of these videos on YouTube are probably of the same theme. There's nothing necessarily profound or intelligent about the way it's written. So you can pretty much almost predict the end. So the thrill for people who consume such kinds of content is just the suspense in between that beginning and the end. That middle part is really because you already have a perception of what could happen. And so you just wait it out. You wait out the script. And people want to be entertained. I think right now there's a weird appetite for entertainment. It's almost insatiable of a sort. And people are looking for things to be entertained by. So I would say in the last 2 weeks, two people, the lady who sent in the message yesterday and the manager who was complaining to me that this whole YouTube content, and that's a thing. They're making money. Why change if you're making, and remember the money is the goal. I remember I used to have a colleague back in the day who was a broadcaster, but also wanted to be a rapper. For some of you who remember Cool FM back in the day, you know the guy called N6. He wanted to be a rapper. I cannot tell you how many times that kid kept complaining to me how he was forced to dumb down the rap because it felt as though the raps that were becoming very popular or common was the ones that were really shallow. So, to the lady that called yesterday, I mean, now that I think about it, she's right when she says we should talk about it. Honestly, she's right. But on the other hand, I think we all know why it is the way that it is. We know why mediocrity would sell. It's as though everybody else has been bitten by a vampire that requires subpar, which is a new standard. It's even worse, baby. It's worse. Today on the show, our first hour, I want to talk about something that some callers on the sunny side brought to my attention. Now, not because I was initially unaware, but brought to my attention because they, as men, felt that they were being unfairly judged, maybe even marginalized. And some of them even accuse women of being very materialistic. I don't know how material the world was 20 years ago. I don't even know how material the world was 10 years ago. But you see the world today? We're not even ready. Today on the show, our topic is how poverty shapes the morality in society. I think that's the first thing we should do. After that, we can go into the updates I promised you yesterday to share today, which is, of course, the update from COVID. I think we should look into that. Remember, yesterday somebody tagged me to a now new variant of the maize crop, and I would also like to just bring that to your notice. I think I would love to have a guest, as I told you yesterday, in the studio. And in the absence of that, I could just even open it up to the public so that if you're in the public and you're a farmer, you can actually just call and give us your experience with genetically modified foods. If you are an agrobiologist, if there's anything like that, if you're agronomist, if you are into food science, I think the world is in desperate need of your knowledge, of your insight, of your education. I think education is really what saves. And that's the thing. When we trivialize education, when we leave ourselves at the mercy of somebody else, our lives are dictated by that person. And the tragedy of that is you don't know what they want from out of the game. You don't know what they're seeking after. You are not sure if they want your good. But guaranteed, they would paint a picture that appears that something is for your good. I mean, it has to be. How else can they get you in? You have to understand that during COVID, please Google this thing, because I was even trying to Google it this morning and then I forgot because I really wanted to mention it. I think it was a state in America, or maybe it was in Russia, that the government were willing to give away. We're going to have a raffle draw to give out a car to people who got vaccinated. In America, I remember that one in America. It was a congressperson who said that if you get vaccinated, they were giving away free chips and burgers to anyone who got vaccinated within a window. And I was wondering why they were incentivizing people to stay alive. If a person knew that they were going to die, you don't need to give them chips and burgers to go get a vaccine. I think it was Russia that was going to give away a car. They're going to have a raffle draw to give away a car. I'm like, this is some serious stuff. Anyways, so I'm leaving that in your thoughts to say that after our first conversation, we segue into the other conversation, which is updates on COVID. And I would just want you to know. I want you to know it because, as you can tell, after we heard of COVID in Nigeria and the NCDC was consistent in giving us daily updates as to the number of Nigerians that were dead, infected, reported cases, buried. Have you noticed this? They don't give us any other information like, well, side effects. Is there going to be a legal case? Or people reporting what reports has emerged? I have not gotten anything. And so if we were to just go by what is happening in Nigeria alone, one can be forgiven to assume that after that COVID phase, everything is fine. That's what we have to assume at this point, because there's really no reporting, there's no research, there are no arguments, there are no opinions flying around. There's nobody saying anything. It's as though nothing has happened sequel to that COVID situation. So we have to then look around the world and see what's happening. Did you know that China didn't use the mRNA technology? Yeah, the rest of the world did, but China didn't use the mRNA technology. Only last year did China create their own mRNA technology. So they had whatever they had inoculating their people from the virus, and God alone knows what that was. Maybe traditional vaccine, maybe, I can't quite tell, but not mRNA, because only last year did they create an mRNA. Okay, so food for thought. 2:30, Desmond will be here. Don't miss that. Let's get into the game. Today's conversation, how morality could No, pardon me. How poverty can. So I want to be open-ended. I don't want to assume that it's the poverty is the express cause of societal moral degradation. I want to assume maybe there are other things. I want to believe that there are other things. In fact, there have to be other things. Otherwise, there's no reason why we're not banging on the doors of our government to fix poverty just so that society doesn't degenerate. But even with the knowledge of knowing that other things could inform poverty and moral degradation in society, we're still left with a duty to whether we're going to allow the government go at their own pace or they're going to go at the pace of the people. Welcome to Worthy of Note this afternoon. I'm going to go off on a break. When I come back, I want to play you an audio. The audio is entertaining, and I think the whole idea of this audio I'm going to play is for it to entertain you. Now, this is one of many videos I had bookmarked in the past to play on the sunny side for any of the conversations we would have around this topic. But for some very interesting reason, this one appears to stand out. So the other videos, I'm just going to paraphrase the other videos I've seen in the past. It would be young people speaking about money. So you see a 23-year-old lady, money. I even saw one yesterday, which I didn't even finish watching. It was about how she couldn't date a broke guy. This one, I can't date a broke guy. You see women in their 30s, I can't date a broke guy. You see a woman in their 40s, I can't date a broke guy. You see a child yet to be born, I can't date a broke guy. Like, nobody wants a broke guy. Okay. So what exactly is happening? And I don't want to be the one to tell you, because I would love for you to the privilege of your experience and maybe your own observation in society. That is just right now, I think social media is awash with the bashing of broke guys, whether it's broke guys or broke men. I feel the last generation, I want to say you are lucky, if I can honestly say that. I don't have the details as to your experiences, but you're certainly not experiencing what's happening in the world today. You see an uneducated girl, oh, I can't date a broke guy. You see an educated girl, oh, I can't date a broke guy. You see a sub-illiterate, oh, I can't date a broke guy. Like, nobody wants a broke guy. One would wonder whether the broke guys are the worst things to happen to society. But then, if the broke guys are not the worst things to happen in society, and then there is this open, societal verbalization of this stigma that's now imposed on the broke guy, one wonders what then is happening in society? What is happening to our social consciousness? A few weeks ago, a lady said, well, you couldn't sleep with her except you had 20 million in your account. And it's funny the things we brag about these days. It's just funny, because it just shows that we're not a thinking people. Or maybe the thinking people are the ones who don't speak, and the people who speak are the ones who don't think. I'm not even sure what to make of it. So I don't know what your point is, Femi from Dallas. If you want to make a point, you're not there yet. So if you have a point to make, I'll appreciate it. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Okay, so I was saying, I'm going to play the audio right about now, if I don't get interrupted. And then you'll decide for yourself when we open up the telephone lines what you think is happening. And what you think is informing this sort of social mentality. At this point, you know what I'm talking about, because it's beyond common. In fact, I think this conversation is probably 5 years late. So let's get into it. It's worthy of note. A beautiful Wednesday afternoon to you. Thank you very, very much for being here and joining the conversation this afternoon. It promises to be very informative and educative. My name's Joyce. You're on the sunny side.
Different ideologies.
I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. My daughter is giving me hell. What happened? She always go out with friends. I put her in a place of where she's learning a trade. I call the woman, please, see this girl as your stepdaughter. I want you to take charge of this girl. But this girl is giving me headache.
Different perspectives.
When she's maltreating her, ask her if you are my mother or you are not my mother, so that I will really know. She said she's the one that born me, only that when she gave birth to me, that I'm wicked, that I give her a soft time during my labor, that my labor do her for 5 days.
And she hates you for that?
He hates me for that.
But it's not your fault that her labor took 5 days.
Share your views on the sunny side here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. So I was going to play this from my computer for some very weird reason. The system doesn't appear to be loading. It's saying something went wrong. I don't know if this is a Twitter problem or if this is my computer problem. I can't quite tell. But I think we should be able to play from my phone. But first, before I play this audio, there's information in the air. Catch it.
There's information in the air. Indeed, and it's flying towards you. It's coming in the form of the Cloud Talk concert. Yes, it's coming to you this month, later this month, exactly happening on the 29th of June 2024, to be happening on 5 p.m. that day. Now, what can you look forward to is probably what you are asking, and I'm here to tell you that you are going to be looking forward to a lot. I'm talking about content creators. You're looking at some of Nigeria's best content creators in the past 1 year. Yes, by extension, some of the most creative people around. Folagade Banks, one of them. Miss Dems, one of them. Lege Miami is going to be there. Miss Vine. And of course, Jay on Air, as well as others, will be showing up. Now, we'll be getting live performances from King Madi, Iomaf, Magix, Bayani, and many more. Your host is Enyulu Adeoluwa, and of course, like I said before, this event will be happening on the 29th of June 2024. The time is 5 p.m. and the venue will be Jewel by Ida on Hakim Dixon Link Road, Lekki, Lagos. Of course, to register, go to www.cloudtalkconcert.com. That is cloudtalkconcert.com. Of course, the Cloud Talk concert is supported and brought to you by Teasers and Infinix. Of course, talk has just got lit, and it is doing so by way of the Cloud Talk concert. So come to the Cloud Talk concert and, of course, talk about it. It promises to be absolute fun, worth your while. Show up.
You can play to win money. Hey, I thought we should not forget to tell you that.
I mean, yeah, we definitely should not forget to tell you that there is
Win
money on ground. And we are not doing that, actually. It's very instructive that Joyce dropped that on you. Well, I'm here to just do the finishing work. Ladies and gentlemen, there's money on ground, and it is to the tune of 150,000 naira daily. Yes, you can be one of our winners by just throwing your hat in the ring. All you have to do is pick up your phone and dial *347 *880 *3#. Yes, hear me again, *347 *880 *3#. Or go to the website at www.oneplay.ng. It will cost you 500 naira per ticket to play this game, but once you do, your ticket will be in the draws, and you will be one in the number who can actually win their share of that money. Joyce is giving away money, and will be giving away money later on in the day on Game On. So you do not want to be told. You want to be part of that largesse. Now, make sure you remember also that at the end of the week, there's a weekly jackpot being given away. 500,000 naira large, that one. This one is 150k. That one is the big one, the senior man at the end of the week. And that one is 500,000 naira large. And of course, your chances of winning are pretty much the same whether you play on the internet or you use the USSD code. Do, however, make sure that once you play, you have your phone very close to you. It is very important. And make sure you are playing responsibly. Make sure you are playing as many times as possible to afford yourself the ample chance of winning. That said, OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission. Start playing, start winning, and be happy.
So yeah, this would be legal money for you to win, and it should not impinge on your conscience, on your swag. Hold on, you guys, steez, is that what you guys call it? Gen Z, you guys are a sad lot. I don't know how you all make up these words. they really sound funky, you know, but it's how quickly they also die away. So there's something called steez. If you don't know what it is, please don't bother. It will pass away before December. They're going to come up with something new. But apparently it's supposed to be like a more compound word for swag. I think they say it's panache, ease, confidence. Then they mix those words together and there's a new word. I think I've seen it 100 times already. The first 50 times I didn't know what they were talking about. There's a new word in the air. It's called steez. If you don't know it, don't bother. It would probably die in 2 months. Then something else will come up. 1 week ago, or no, a few weeks ago, there was this thing they were doing on social media between A and Z, between B and D. I don't know what that is. These children are very fleeting, and so are all their ideologies. And maybe it speaks to what informs them, what motivates them, what they're driven by, what they believe. And I don't know if I should just blame Gen Z exclusively. Because, I mean, hey, this is a continuation of something. They didn't birth themselves, right? And they're not a new race. These are children from parents. This is a continuing life form. I have 2 minutes before break, so I don't think it's enough time. But just to scintillate your appetite with what I promised to play, here we go.
Not push and blow.
Wait.
So there's no connection for you. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you were to rate her, what would you rate her?
Is it compulsory I do so? Because since there's no connection, I wouldn't want to make her feel some type of way. You get? So I just think I'll leave it here.
All right. What about you? If he had his balloon on, would you have selected him? No.
Okay, so I want to honestly give you some vague description of what you are going to listen to when we return from the break. And I think it's necessary to just give you a mental picture. So this is a game show. And this game show, you have either a lineup of women or a lineup of men. And this allows for... So I think the whole idea is you're looking for... I don't know what you're looking for. Love? Maybe love. But certainly... in my opinion, they can't be serious. But yeah, they're here looking for love. So you would have maybe like 10 women in a room. They're lined up looking well-dressed, put together, pretty and all. Then a guy walks in. The ladies who are lined up have a balloon in their hands. When the guy walks in, they can determine at what point from the moment the person walks in, they burst the balloon. If you don't burst your balloon, it means you could be interested. If you burst your balloon, it means you're not interested. Now, if you burst your balloon, they approach you with a microphone to ask you, why did you burst your balloon? Then you may give reasons as to why you did that, including, I didn't find the person attractive, he's too short, she's too short, he's too tall. This is an American game show, by the way. And so this is Nigeria adopting it. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go off on a break. This audio perfectly captures society's mentality, and I'll allow you to speak on that when we return. Don't go anywhere.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Are you ready to elevate your stay in Lagos to the next level?
Introducing VCP Hotel VI in the vibrant heart of the city.
Experience hospitality, dining, and views of Victoria Crown Plaza Hotel, located at 292B at Jose Adeogun Street, Victoria Island, Lagos.
Book your stay today and indulge this experience.
Victoria Crown Plaza Hotel, a destination. Elevate your stay in Lagos to the next level. Experience VCP Hotel VI.
For booking and reservation, visit our website www.vcphotels.com or call 0903-818-9144. Follow us on Instagram and all social media platforms at VCP Hotels.
Victoria Crown Plaza Hotel. Elevate your stay in Lagos to the next level. Located at 292B at Jose Adeogun Street, Victoria Island, Lagos.
90.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Is it not mine enough or is it not a spec?
It's not my spec.
What's making him not your spec?
His outfit, his shoe. Not my type.
Does this cream cheap?
Yeah, extremely cheap.
So you like it luxurious?
I I like luxurious guy.
Like you can see, you're having a Fendi bag, a Louis Vuitton shoe.
LV trainers.
Yes, and some designers. Are these originals?
Yeah.
Can you give us a word of everything you're wearing? Since you said it's screaming cheap.
Okay, my LV trainers is $1,500. My hair, $325,000 from Booker's Hair. My bag is a gift from my bestie.
Okay, your gown, how much? Your gown?
$19
Okay.
from Shein.
From Shein. All right. So we can see why. Sir, give us the cost of your outfit. Let's understand why she's saying they are cheap. I mean, they look really nice, but.
Do I also have to do that?
Yes, please. It's a game show.
I really don't understand the definition of things being cheap. It's either maybe she's ignorant or something because I know I drip so fucking sharp.
When I see a good XB dunk, I know.
So you think you
Don't push it. Don't push it. Not push and bro. If you want some, I'll tell you say you want some.
calm down there. Yes, sis, calm down. Like I said earlier, I don't want to make you feel bad, also, but if you keep going this type of way, I don't know, you may not like to watch it.
So is that an SB dunk? What's the name of that shoe?
He won't even know the names. He won't even know the brands because he is not putting on a designer. Please pass the microphone.
Jesus.
Even if na Katia you wear for hand, I can specifically tell you it's a Katia. That's not a Katia.
Jesus.
So please pass the mic.
It's fine. I won't go on to banter what
You know
she's
you
not
won't fit,
what
safe. You're not fit.
You know, Rich, I don't follow you.
I know they find love. Pass microphone. Man, see what they find.
Oh, then why I can't
You
come
know,
here?
give me what they find. Shift.
Okay, you know if you give you the type of love you want. Come this side. We don't carry designer. Come this side. So you're really looking for. You're not seeing what to say. Like
there is nothing to tell her. Where do I start from now?
No, for you.
There's nothing.
Okay, chai. So do you want to rate him for us?
2.
Madam. Madam.
10. Wow.
You look me before you come out.
So, I want you to imagine a world where this is entertainment. I think that's even the first thing you have to do. What kind of a world would you have to live in for something like this to be entertainment? Okay, now I don't even think that, because I think, so you know how social media is. You watch stuff, people find interesting parts, cut clips, and post up on social media. And I've watched a number of those clips, and I can't believe how quickly the conversations degrade to nothingness. Like, you just hear someone go, "Oh, I don't like you." Why? They say your hair. It's like, okay. You hear something like your shoes, you look cheap. And I'm like, okay, what exactly is a standard we're creating? What exactly are we creating in society? Someone says to me, Joyce, you would not believe, and maybe you're not even ready for the conversation of men also being gold diggers as women are gold diggers. It's 1 p.m. This is not that kind of situation where I handle the conversation alone. This is the one where I sit down and let you do the talking. After the news update, the conversation will continue on the other side of the hour. My name's Joyce. It's 1 p.m.
It's 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria. Listening to the news update this hour. River State now has new caretaker committee chairman for the 23 local government councils of the state. The swearing-in ceremony was performed at the Executive Council chambers of River State Government House in Port Harcourt
by Governor Siminaye Fubara, the chairman, were earlier screened and confirmed by the Speaker, Oko Jumbo-led Assembly. Governor Siminaye Fubara appointed the caretaker committee members as he continues his battle for the control of the political structure of Rivers State. The appointment came a day after the governor asked administrative heads to temporarily take charge of council areas from the outgoing elected officials whose tenures ended on Monday. On Tuesday, the crisis in the state worsened as protesting youths loyal to Fubara dislodged chairmen who refused to leave their offices. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has denied granting bail to suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari. Justice Emeka Nwite in his ruling held that Mr. Kyari has not shown any evidence to warrant the court to grant him bail. He ruled that bail is at the discretion of the court and can only be granted if the alleged offences carry a 2-year term. Although the judge had on the 22nd of May granted a temporary 2-week bail to Mr. Kyari following allowing him the opportunity to go home and conclude his burial rites of his mother, the 2 weeks was however extended by a week upon an application filed by Mr. Kyari for an extension of the bail. At today's proceedings, Justice Emeka Nwite refused to extend its earlier order, but granted an accelerated hearing in the case. And Zungeru Hydroelectricity Generation Company Limited has an approval from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission for the procurement of 450 megawatts of electricity. The deal is in the overriding public interest of ensuring continuous improvements in the supply of electricity to Nigerians. Now, this is to ensure grid stability and prevent a shutdown of the newly completed Zungeru hydropower plant pending when it gets off-takers. The NERC, in a directive signed by its Vice Chairman, Musili acknowledged that the suboptimal grid dispatch experienced on the national grid was partly occasioned by low generation. And finally, an unknown number of people have been killed and injured after a huge fire broke out at an ammunition depot in Chad. The senior government minister said the fire caused a major explosion. Foreign Minister Abderrahman Kulamala said the blaze happened at a military depot in the Guji area of the capital, N'Djamena. President Muhammad Idris Deby sent his condolences to the victims and their families without specifying the number of casualties. The weapons depot in Guji is the country's main arsenal and is in the north of the city near the military headquarters, a French army base, and the airport. That's the News Update Lagos. It is back to the sunny side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
Sunny side. Okay, I told you there was gist. So I'm retaining my colleague, Vaughn. Oh, hi, phone. This gist looks like it's about to implode in here. Okay, so welcome to the show. 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's 5 minutes past 1 p.m. For some weird reason, I want to agree with your position, even though you are yet to state it. But the conversation today, I really came in with a mindset of society is morally changing. I don't want to call it a degradation if the people accept that this is what they want. I feel sometimes the reason a person would who has been maybe scaled and be found and is found wanting in terms of financial capability would feel offended is also because he doesn't have money. Because if he had money, he probably wouldn't sweat it out, right? And then I wonder what people who do not have money or people who do have money do for society to become this mirror image of what we're seeing today, because I think that there is a doing on the part of those who have and those who don't have that allows society to adopt a mentality, which is, of course, evident in the audio I just shared a moment ago before the news update. I wanted to ask your opinion. Do you think that women are gold diggers? And in fact, someone sent me a message saying that men are more... The person said to me, Joyce, you're not ready for the conversation that men are equally gold diggers, if not more.
I totally agree with that person. I strongly believe that men are as gold digging as women. Look, it goes both ways. While there are gold digging women, there are also gold digging men. The problem is that this part of society, just sort of sheds more light or puts the spotlight on women, because women are traditionally expected to be the ones, quote, taken care of, being taken care of. So even when the woman is the one doing the funding the man's lifestyle, she's not supposed to air that part out. She's not supposed to make it public.
Society expects her to be silent about it.
Yes, society expects her to be silent about it and make it look like it's the man doing all the work, whereas the man is just a sit-at-home man who is basically just useless for much of the time, except for when he's collecting money from the woman. And I see this play out in many different cases, but the women would come out and smile and pretend that the man is the one, being the quote provider in the relationship. So yes, men are as gold digging as women are. The vast majority of men would rather end up with rich women than with broke girls. The only reason they end up with broke girls is because they can't reach. They are not, the women that they want to reach don't even want them.
Oh, Vaughn, you like a rifle. Like, what you're taking?
I mean, it's not.
You're not taking victims this afternoon. Like, what are you
Joyce,
doing? You're taking them out?
Yes, it is what I strongly believe to be true. The women that these men really want don't want them because they are not as rich, or they are just not, they don't measure up to their standards. So they settle for the ones who are not as rich. Because when a man believes that he has a certain amount of money, he believes that all women should bow at his feet. But how are you going to tell a woman who earns even more money than you, and who knows who she is, to bow at your feet? That's not going to happen. You settle for the ones who don't have, quotes, the kind of substantial means that you have, and so you call them gold diggers. But you yourself, deep down, want to dig some gold as well. That is why many men would rather be with a woman whose father is a well-to-do man.
Sometimes I wish I had like a co-host on the show, because I really came with the intention to pose a narrative but kind of lean towards the guys a little bit.
Joyce, there is no leaning here. It is what it is. It's the streets, Joyce, and on the streets, everyone is hustling. Men are hustling, women are hustling. Otherwise, why was the term gigolo invented? A gigolo is a male prostitute, a man who does what a woman normally do. So it is what it is, Joyce. There are gigolos among us everywhere.
You know that, like, I came up with the whole male prostitution thing because I thought, like, there were just too many. Oh, it's just a prostitute. Oh, it's just a hoe. Oh, it's just a pro. I'm like,
Joyce, the number of men that prostitute.
Should I show you proof that many of your church-going, moral-looking, Creed perfume wearing, economy flying
in fact,
brothers are hypocrites.
Yes,
like they practically just come out and they look like saints.
Yes,
but these are Satanists. These are children of the darkness. These are children of perdition. These are people. When they say pray against an enemy, because I think when they say pray against an enemy, you're looking to hell.
Yes,
you're all in bed with the enemy.
Yes,
that's exactly who you should be praying against, but you don't know any better.
And in fact, Joyce, there's even a difference between a gigolo and a male prostitute. The gigolo is mostly looking for targeting high society women.
Okay. Oh,
who can fund them?
That's the Abuja boys.
Thing, Joyce. It's not just the Abuja boys.
Because like
it's
Abuja,
the Lagos boys. It's the Anambra boys. It's the boys all over the state of the federation. Joyce.
This is wild.
Yes, it is. Then the male prostitutes are the ones that we would normally call the demons, who have 5 girlfriends, 10 girlfriends, and stuff. But the ones who are really doing the work are the gigolos.
I wish I had a co-host.
They are the gigolos.
This was that day. I want a Okay, you know what? I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, we're so used to.
But I'm happy you came. Yes. I'm glad you gave me this one.
Yes, I totally agree with that person that said we're not ready for that conversation. Men prostitute more than women.
But because it's in suit and tie, we can't see it.
Exactly, and because society often favors men over women when it comes to matters of morality, women are often spotlighted
or demonized.
But men do these things every day. The prostitutes to be on top. They sleep with their bosses. It is what it is.
Wait, that sleep with your boss is one.
It's not only women that sleep with their bosses, Joyce. Men, it's Sheriff. Sheriff is here to defend his gender.
I can't hold it. I couldn't hold myself. What you guys mean? I don't get it. What you guys mean?
Oh my goodness,
Sheriff. You don't have a defense, or do you?
Of course I do.
It's the way Sheriff
What do you
walked
mean
into
by
this
men prostitute more than women? I mean,
because they do.
No,
Sheriff.
that's not true.
Okay,
Sheriff.
Let's look at the history of prostitution itself.
You want to go there, Sheriff?
Yes, we have to.
Okay, let's go.
That alone speaks to the fact that the profession was started by who? What gender?
Yeah, but that's a demand and supply.
Exactly.
So prostitution is demand.
Yeah.
But they're supplying someone.
So
they're supplying someone.
Let's say that.
There's a market.
Let's say that you have a product.
Mm-hmm.
Before demand starts coming, won't you advertise?
No.
If your product is high in demand, you don't even need advertisement.
No, that's the thing. You would first advertise before it gets to that point, right?
No. Starbucks doesn't have a jingle. Starbucks. Have you heard a Starbucks jingle before?
Well, I don't stay in that environment.
Oh, good.
But here's the thing. Coca-Cola does not need to have adverts on radio.
The only reason something like that will come to society would be because in private, men pervert women.
Totally.
That is absolutely wrong.
No, for a patriarchal society,
it is completely
to
wrong.
permit prostitution, it would be that in private, that the men already just do it. So the men might as well just come out and make
what's
this
crazy?
open
It's
for
completely
everyone.
wrong.
You know, once upon a time,
What will happen if women refuse to say, okay, we're
Men
not
would be in high demand, Sheriff. In fact, as we speak now, women are...
What would be in high demand? What would be in high demand?
Man, your gender would be in high demand.
By who? Who would be
by
demanding
your gender,
them?
Sheriff.
Instead of round table, this is what we should have been doing.
Sheriff, at this point, in fact, I should say...
That is not true.
Sheriff, at this point now in society...
We have more women prostitutes than
that
men.
That is not true, Sheriff.
Because it's second to nature.
That
no offense to women.
No. Sheriff, that is absolutely
it's just natural to have female prostitutes everywhere.
So let me take you back
Go
a little
on the streets of Ikeja. Go to Oniru.
Sheriff, just look at this Etimian Crescent. You will see your gender.
Who do you have on the street?
in mini.
I haven't found them.
No, Sheriff, I have. You have refused to look, Sheriff. I have seen many.
Go to Oniru. Go to Allen. I mean, you see women everywhere.
Yeah, Sheriff, but that's a narrow way to look at it.
No, but that's the only way to look at it.
That is not,
Sheriff. That's
Sheriff.
not the only way to look at it.
Because prostitution
the reason those women are there, because men are going to come. In fact, you remember that there was a social there still is.
Because it's business.
A social
it's business
why
for them.
Why should she lay with you for free if she can legally get money out of you? Because when you lay with these women.
But men are doing the same thing.
Have you seen men hang around and say, there's demand?
Yes,
Are you guys watching online?
Sheriff, let me also tell you that I have met a few men on the streets in bomb shorts. And I am not even...
What are you looking for?
Sheriff,
well, how come you are
they
mixing
saw
all of
me,
them?
they looked at me, and I looked back, Sheriff.
What are you looking
I was first assaulted. I was
understand.
first visually assaulted.
What are you looking
Sheriff,
for? Why are you
have
seeing men in bomb shorts?
Sheriff, you have just chosen
you
to
saw
not
men in
admit
Nika,
that.
and now you're seeing men in bomb shorts. I don't understand.
In fact, Sheriff, it is what it is.
Have you heard the phrase, men are promiscuous in nature?
Oh, yes.
You know, society practically wanted to justify the promiscuity of the male gender.
Yes.
And had to nearly politicize it. Just so that there would be little to no criticism
for men.
See, men are promiscuous in nature. I've heard that 1,000 times. But how many men have you seen by the roadsides?
Oh, Sheriff.
No, wait. Just
how many?
No. But just because
we're
they're
talking
not,
about prostitution is exchange for something, right?
Of course, now.
Don't break my hand, though. Don't break my hand.
Sheriff, so Vaughn said sleep with a boss.
Yes.
So some people want to keep their job and they have to sleep with their boss. That's exchange for something.
Yes, it is.
Yeah?
Yes,
and men do that.
At the same time, you don't have to do that.
No, but women are even choosing to get away
that.
with something because, of course, they know this is not an emotional connection. Mm-hmm. This is not love. He wants sexual pleasure, and I might as well just get paid for it. And so a woman does that, and you say it's prostitution. But the man who
Yes,
wants
it is because she can decide not to.
But men do that as well.
But wait, who has been raping women?
If you break this finger.
Yeah, because sure. Skype people are wait. Sheriff, I know that you want to sanitize the not so pure image of the male gender.
Say what you just say whatever you want to say. There's nothing to sanitize.
No, you're trying.
Women are known
Joyce
to have
more sexual desires,
to have built an empire from this industry.
What
you
about
can't,
men?
You can't say the same for men.
Yes, I can,
no, you
Sheriff.
Can't.
But do you know
Yes,
why
I
a woman?
can.
You
But
can't.
how can a woman build an empire if not off of the desires of men?
I'm not contending
but
that.
that's the only
I'm
reason.
saying that
so
the person
are
that
more like the slaves.
So what
who
I'm
built-
saying is
Exactly.
the person.
Like,
What I'm
these
saying
are
is the
slaves
person
that
that is in the business.
Yeah.
Is the prostitute. Not the person that is not
I
getting
would like to
anything
say
out of
something
it.
now,
But
please.
The men are getting something.
What,
They're getting
wait,
an
we're talking about
erection.
financial. What are you
Can
talking about?
because
That's
it's
emotional
financial.
satisfaction.
Can I just
we're
say
talking
this?
about we're talking about prostitution.
Can I just say
Look,
this?
you can be on a job and not be paid.
I want to
cash.
go back to my meeting now.
Go to your meeting. You can be on a job and not be paid as well
But
as
Sheriff, before you go back to that meeting, I would like to say this. He said, like, come and sit down. Like, I have to say this before you
What do
go,
you want to
Sheriff.
say? What do you want
That
to say?
if all the women today decided to stop sleeping with men would sleep with men, Sheriff.
No, men will not sleep
Yes,
with men.
men would sleep
other
with
options.
Men will probably sleep with dogs.
No,
They sleep with cows.
they will sleep with their hands, their pillows, Joyce.
You know it's never going to
I
happen.
mean, men even brag
Because-
about masturbating.
You know-
it's because
with their
it's because-
pillows.
It's because of the spirit of
Excuse
God
me?
that they all decide to look for the cross for redemption.
Yes.
More women brag about masturbating than men.
I don't even meet
because
women
men,
who do.
again, Sheriff. The
Are you
reason,
kidding me?
Sheriff, the reason that
This is a known stuff.
Sheriff,
Women
the reason-
brag about
Sheriff,
it.
the
I've
reason
got my
that is-
toys.
the-
I've got this.
Sheriff,
I've got that.
the
I've got
reason-
different sides.
the reason that
it's
is-
daytime radio.
the
Like, sorry, I'm going. I'm just going. I have to go now.
Thank you so much. He just came in. He came in uninvited and he's not leaving.
Oh, goodness. This is so good. I never knew. You know, I should have even thrown a direct jab at Sheriff. Sheriff, I know you're married now, but before you got married, give me your ex-girlfriend.
Exactly. Were you not prostituting?
Were you not prostituting?
Respectfully.
So, Vaughn, interestingly, a number of guys agree with your position.
Exactly, because at the end of the
Hold
day,
on.
prostitution in a way is an exchange for something.
Yeah, so
if
you're either exchanging to gain pleasure or you're exchanging
Thank
to get
you.
money.
So if you say women are prostitutes, who are the women prostituting with, if not with men? And if women today decided to stop prostituting, I strongly believe that men would still find a way to pleasure themselves. They'd use their hands,
They're
they'd
not
use their
even
pillows,
that. They're
they'd
not
use
even
other men.
I don't. Only a few men, maybe not a few, but a handful of men are that distant. If women were not prostituting, we'll probably hear of more rape cases. We're probably
Exactly.
hearing of more exploitation. So it's
Yes.
now that people are saying. So women are like, well, you want to gratify your pleasure, and you are going to pay me for it.
In fact,
and if he is saying that women have built empires, is because men have made themselves slaves to their desires, and behold, comes a whatever you want to call her, the angel of death, woman on a dark horse, Jezebel,
The succubus.
Whatever you call her, here, behold, she comes to exploit your pleasure and build an empire.
Exactly,
At least it's not happening behind your back.
Yes.
And I be hearing that these girls in this new generation be building 2 empires, be building
Based
3.
on that, yes.
Because, like these men
Because
are
there
desperate.
is a high demand for sex. Sex sells. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Sex sells. And there will always be a demand for sex. There will always be a demand for sex. And so it's a business transaction. If you say the women are prostituting, you yourself asking for a prostitute are equally your prostitute.
I don't know why that should not be morally acceptable. I don't know why men tend to think that, oh, she's a prostitute. And I'm
But
thinking,
you're
wait,
not the prostitute.
But who's sleeping with her? Like, if
Exactly.
you're sleeping with her, you don't think that if you lay with dogs, you come up with fleas? You don't think so? And if you look down on a prostitute, but you have solicited, you have propositioned her.
You have secretly desired.
You have desired it. No, that spirit in her is in you. And she might be on a bike and you be in a Benz, but there's no difference, actually.
But you are still a prostitute,
You're
sir.
still a prostitute. And I know you don't want to hear it. But one, How did we get here?
Joyce.
So that's the problem with problems. It's like one problem can domino into all the other problems it can create. So here we're looking at a society where I think right now on average in a week I probably hear it like 50 times how young girls don't want to date broke men. And broke guys are not the worst thing to happen. Like, everybody's got a phase.
Yes.
Even the girl speaking, I don't know what she thinks of her own phase, but honey, I want to assume that you also would like to make it. So until you make it by your standards, you're still broke. So what's this broke shaming thing? By the way, how do you even define success? So I'm realizing that in this new generation, we're defining success by that guy who just has money.
Doesn't
That's
matter
it.
whether the money
whether
comes
he's a
from.
fraud, whether he does blood rituals, whether it's they don't. It's just does he
As
have
long
money?
as he has
Once
money.
he has money, that's the standard right now. Churches be showing extra privileges to the man with the big car and a
Right.
lot more money. Mothers, fathers want their
They're
children to
favoring
marry.
their children that have money over the ones that don't have money.
Oh, I heard the
Oh,
families
yes,
do
Joyce.
that.
It is a thing. The person that has money in the family speaks first, whether he's the firstborn or not. Because yes, it is a thing, Joyce.
Oh.
After all, he's the one, the piper. So he has to call the tune. It is what it is. It is. Yes. Up to the family unit. Up to the family unit.
Yeah.
And then there are many parents who then pressure their children to go out and be rich like their neighbor's son or like their neighbor's daughter. What is she doing that you're not doing? Why do you think do you have two heads? Why are you not making that kind of money that he or she is making? So then it comes down to the family unit.
So we haven't, if you're listening, we haven't veered off. So this just certainly tells you that we have a historical problem, we have a present problem, and we're guaranteed to have a future problem that multiplies itself because of the way society is today. And even from the conversation you've heard in the studio, you can pretty much just see how Sheriff is trying to defend something. I'm trying to defend something. Vaughn is trying to defend something. And I know you're about to defend the one you think you know. But if you have just tuned in, welcome. You have no idea how much I appreciate your contribution this afternoon, Vaughn.
Thank you,
I
Joyce.
thoroughly appreciate it because I was this close to just nearly supporting guys. Like, I felt this women, why are they criticizing the broke guys? Then when you threw in that angle, I'm like, this girl ain't wrong, though.
Even the ones who do the so-called fraud. Who do you think they defraud? Vulnerable women, Joyce.
Why? So there was even there was a psychological experiment as to why men who are so ambitious, the reason they do it. Like if it was a very conservative society, and all you just had to do was survive, you would just survive. But this whole ambition that there's a woman, that they do it for women. Like men pursue this whole power.
It's for women.
Is to have options, is to have a choice.
To
is
get that girl that told them no the first time because they were broke.
Exactly. And so even in poverty, there is the looking down between the haves, between the don't haves and the don't haves. So even the don't haves and the don't haves are judging themselves privately.
Yes.
I know this telephone. Someone like Skype. Telephone lines are eyeing us. Sit down there, girl. Off on our break because it's time for a commercial break. Sign of the cross. Welcome if you have just tuned in. Our conversation this afternoon is how poverty can define the moral standards in society. And I don't know what you know, but I played you an audio of how a lady... you know what? Let's go off on a break. When we come back, I'll play the audio again. If you have just tuned in, you're not late.
Talk more right after this.
What is going on? Pressure, wow.
I'm so ashamed. No one wants to be my friend.
I think I'm anxious and depressed. I don't think this life is worth living at all. I don't think so.
I'm tired. Something is wrong. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Sometimes we feel all these negative emotions and think we're going to be fine. But no, emotions won't go away unresolved. You deserve to be happy, but you must do something about it. Visit your wellness clinic today for 24/7 access therapists on your terms. Remember, you are not alone, and the path to wellness is worth exploring. Your wellness clinic. Recover, regain, relieve, because your well-being matters.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Boys and girls, introducing the first of its kind in Nigeria.
the first radio just for kids. It's here at 101.7 FM.
Are you serious?
Oh, yes.
It's going to be fun for kids on your airwaves 24/7.
Talking about from exciting games
Check.
to juicy gist
Double check.
and great music.
Check.
All these and more on your number one PlayStation 101.7 Kids FM.
Don't be the last to join the train. Download the Kids FM app on your iOS or Play Store today and stay tuned on the go.
You can stream on our website at kidsfm.ng.
You can also follow us on all socials at kidsfm.ng and stand a chance to be one of the super kids.
On 101.7 Kids FM. Remember, it's no dull moments on Kids FM.
So tune in and stay locked on 101.7 Kids FM.
Let's play.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. My name is Joyce. I really want to appreciate my colleagues, Sheriff and Vaughn, who brought some heat into this conversation, swayed by their own belief. You can tell Sheriff is a male by his position. You can tell that he tried to support the notion or support the motion that women are prostitutes and men are going to heaven. But he lied. He lied. Hold on. Let's go right back to the audio I played earlier on. Welcome if you have just tuned in. If you know how to pray, I think you should. Because society is becoming something of nightmare. Well, is becoming a thing of nightmare. Hold on. I'm going to push play here.
I overlook Miru.
Wait. Okay,
So
let's
there's no
go.
connection for you. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you were to rate her, what would you rate her?
Is it compulsory I do so? Because since there's no connection, I wouldn't want to make her feel some type of way. So I just think I'll leave it here.
All right. What about you? If he had his balloon on, would you have selected him?
No,
Why? Is he not man enough or is he not a spec?
it's not my spec.
What's making him not your spec?
His outfit is not my type.
Does this cream cheap?
Yeah, extremely cheap.
So you like a luxurious?
I like luxurious guy.
Like you can see you're having the Fendi bag, a Louis Vuitton shoe.
LV trainers.
Yes, and some designers. Are these
Yeah.
originals?
Yeah.
And give us a what of everything you're wearing since you said it's screaming cheap.
Okay, my LV trainers is $1,500. My hair, $325,000 from Boka's Hair. My bag is a gift from my bestie.
And your gown, how much? Your gown?
$19 from Shein.
From Shein. All right. So we can see why. Sir, give us the cost of your outfit. Let's understand why she's saying they are cheap. I mean, they look really nice.
Why? Why?
Do I also have to do that?
Yes, please. It's a game show.
I really understand her definition of things being cheap. It's either maybe she's ignorant or something because I know
When I see a good XB dunk, I know.
So you think you
Don't push it. Don't push it. Not push and bro. If you want am, I'll tell you say you want am.
calm down there. Yes, sis, calm down.
It's bad.
Like I said earlier, I don't want to make you feel bad also, but if you keep going this type of way, I don't know, you may not like to watch it.
So is that what's the name of that shoe?
He won't even know the names. He won't even know the brand because he is not putting on a designer. Please pass the microphone.
Jesus.
Even if Nakatia you wear for hand, I can specifically tell you it's Nakatia.
Jesus.
So please pass the mic.
It's fine. I won't go on to banter what
You know
she's
even
not
fit,
what
Seth. You're not fit.
You know, Rich, I know follow you do
I know
this.
they find love. Pass microphone. Man, see what they find.
Well, then why I can't
You
come
know,
here?
give me what they find. Shift.
Feel the type of love we want. Come this side. We don't,
Yeah.
come, we don't carry designer. Come this side. So you're really looking for. You're not seeing what to say. Like
There is nothing to tell her. Where do I start from now?
no for you.
There's nothing.
Okay, Chai. So do you want to rate him for us?
2.
Madam. Madam.
10. Wow.
You look me.
I overlook mirror.
You sure?
You've got nothing to say to me.
If you look
bro.
me before you come out, you know come out.
Use your mic.
Yeah, use your mic.
Huh? If you look me before you come out, you know come out. Huh?
Why?
Why?
I be your eye and your neighbor. You know this.
Suck your mind. You not see, say poverty. Don't even see for your hair. You not even see dry. Say dry. The whole completely. Why yourself?
So there's this thing that we do, you know, where we debase people, where we mock them. There's this poverty ate his hair. It's almost like a soulless thing.
It is, and especially coming from someone who's equally poor, Joyce.
Now, so can you see her estimation of wealth?
Exactly.
That she wore LV shoes and that he wasn't wearing a designer shoe.
Right.
And just by his evaluation of the guy,
He's poor.
He is not her spec. And then they say, why? So, well, he looks cheap. And then she's like, well, he's not wearing SB Dunk. So SB Dunk, I'm thinking on average, should be about 800, 900, 1 million. Almost by conversion, right? So that's what the shoes will be worth. And she's like, from the stars, she can tell whether he's wearing a Cartier. And so based off of that he shouldn't be talking to her.
Right.
And this is entertainment.
Which is unfortunate because
because
it's not
like,
exactly
what
entertaining.
What kind of society are we building if this is entertainment? And then there is the consistent and repetitive, oh, I can't date him. He's broke. He's broke. Poor guy, avoid me. Oh, right. So nobody's talking about anything else, morality, intelligence. It's just like nobody even talks about intelligence anymore because it's like that's I don't know. Is that like a relic?
And I think it's also, again, because of how much sex in this part of the world is glorified. I think that's another thing that comes into play here, because men have put so much value on sex and on demeaning women to just being sex toys or sex objects that women now feel, okay, if you want me for sex, then you should be able to afford me. You should be able to pay for this. You should be able to pay for that. So it is more or less a tit for tat a society.
Trade,
currently it's a trade.
So we've opened another black market.
Exactly. So that is where we are right now. And that's exactly why more and more women are altering their bodies to look a certain way to fit into this sex ideal, this sex idea, because they believe that if they look this way, they can be more desirable to men. Because at the end of the day, men value sex.
And the women are not even wrong. You know, that's even the tragedy.
That's the problem, Joyce.
They're not even wrong.
They're not. They are not. It's what society has created, over time for years, for aeon, so it is crazy right now that is what it is.
If you have been itching to drop your 2.5 cents, because at this point I think you have 3 cents, but I'm going to take 2.5. 0201-277-0993, 0201-277-1993, 0201-277-2993, 0201-277-2993 and 277-3993. Now, there's a message I got here, and he says that even the ladies who don't want to date these broke guys, they're fathers. So I have a problem with you judging the father of the woman. There's something corrupt about a thinking like that. It's like saying, well, she wants you, she expects you to have money, and then you degrade or you diminish or you insult her father. It's like, what is happening? So is her father less honorable because he doesn't have money? And then maybe the argument is, well, if his daughter is judging me to be of no financial capability,
then maybe she wasn't raised right. I think
okay,
why men would say that is because they believe that for a girl to degrade a man based on his perceived worth, then it must be because she wasn't raised right at home. And this thing where fathers and daughters, they are not wrong in a way, in my opinion.
But some fathers could have done a good job. It's just that the girls
refuse
are in the
to learn.
streets. The girls are in the streets,
Yes.
and they're seeing the game played in the streets, and they're adapting to it.
Right.
Because even many people who are not necessarily saying it outwardly are praying for it inwardly. Or they're judging inwardly. They're like, oh yeah, this one is poor, this one. But they're not going to be bold enough to come out and say, oh, I don't want a broke guy, I want a rich guy.
Right.
Now, women, you have to save yourself because Vaughn didn't show up in your group today. Nigeria Info, you on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. It's worthy of note. Hello, welcome to the show. It's so good to have you here. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Joyce.
Yes. Welcome. Tell us
Remy.
your name. Good.
Remy.
Are you a broke guy or a rich guy? And should it matter?
I'm broke.
Oh, straight up.
I broke. I'm no keep person.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But,
there is a reason.
But what does that mean? And does the meaning even have any significance in society?
We need to ask the female gender, your gender, because there's the stigma. It's cool for a lady to be broke, despite raise in any eyebrow. But for a guy to be broke is like a sin. And it's a general thing across board globally. For you to be the stuff you played, I've seen the American version before.
Okay.
With the copy easily.
Yeah.
So I detest it because it doesn't measure. Should I say? It's too belittling, if I'm to use that word.
Belittling for who? All of us in society consuming it as entertainment, or one of the sexes?
For human.
For human consumption. Okay.
It is too belittling. How can you measure someone by just the mere look or by how the physique and the like? It's too belittling, if I'm to say.
Okay.
There is a reason the word hypergamy exists. So I'm going back to you guys' argument. The word hypergamy exists for a reason. Fine, we can argue there are male as well too, but generally, leaving your room to the streets, what you see the most is most of the female. Not the prostitution stuff, if I'm to say.
But if you say women are in the streets, they're in the streets because a guy is coming. Like men are coming. They're there. They're not there for dogs. They're there for men. So what are you saying?
Another discussion, Joyce.
No, it's not. It's the same thing.
Hold on. If we want to speak about, who sells drugs? Who buys drugs? Okay, we want to talk about who buys. Yes. Okay, who sells? You're talking about prostitution. Who sells? Or should we say who buys?
Is the seller worse than the buyer? Is that what you're implying?
No, that is even another discussion. I'm not arguing whether one is better or one is good. But the industry of prostitution is what you are discussing, right?
No. The psychology of it. The fact that one person is on the street and the other person is in a car on his way.
Of course.
Okay.
So, who is selling? The female, mostly.
Okay.
How do you see a guy?
Why is she selling? Because there's a buyer.
That's another, Joyce.
It's not another thing. No, you can't. What are you doing? Come on, man.
Should we bring the two together?
What are you doing? Like, who's buying, who's selling?
I'm using as in what you guys brought up. Why it's being sold wasn't why you guys started the discussion.
Because it's as though you want to imply that the reason it's being that the only reason men are going after it is because it's on sale.
If that was the discussion, I would have said something else.
Okay, I'm not even sure where you're going.
You said prostitution. Who prostitutes the most? Was that not how you guys started the discussion?
Well, that was actually something between Vaughn and Sheriff. But so it was like, well, someone was trying to make a case for someone prostitutes the most.
That is the premise of my thought. Okay, what's the discussion? Let me ask you so that I won't.
More poverty. How poverty is reshaping social standards.
Okay, that is the discussion, right?
Yeah, I thought I said it.
Of course, people always lean on that to, people are more materialistic these days, just to meet their need.
And we are perpetrating it. We are the ones creating it. Okay, so that's it.
I don't want a broke guy of a thing.
Hold on, if you're on Skype. Skype, just a minute.
Girls are trying to escape poverty. That is why in most cases, even from the home, they are being told you must marry a rich guy. Even right from the home, they are being told by both parents, you guys marry a person who get money.
Yeah, all right.
They must marry up. So a guy too, from the home, is being told you must be rich. So the guy must do whatever it takes, even if it is to steal or to be
crazy,
to be a gold digger.
Okay, all right, got it. We have to let other people speak. Thank you so much for calling. Really, I appreciate. I'm on Skype right now. If you're on Skype, please, one after the other, please call us on Skype. Good afternoon to you, Nigeria Info. Hello. Ouch. The caller just dropped now that I picked him up. Skype, I beg you, one after the other, please. Hello. Oh, wait. Who's here? Is it? Wait. I picked up someone already. Stephen, please, if you can wait for me. Michael is already on the line. Stephen, please, you wait. Michael, hello. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Yeah.
This is Michael.
I'm with you. Michael from where?
New York.
Welcome, Michael from New York. Good to have you.
This is the first time I'm calling this program, and I listen every morning. Okay. But I just have to call because of Vaughn.
Okay. Hi.
Hello there.
One hasn't seen any reason to blame women. Even the prostitute stuff. All she blames is either the parents
I don't
or
think
the
you should.
society.
Pardon me. I don't think you should make Vaughn the conversation. I think you can tell us what your position is. You tell us
What
what you
did
think.
you say?
I don't think you should be blaming Vaughn. Vaughn is not the conversation. Vaughn is one opinion. So if you have an opinion, I want you to lay it down.
Yeah, it's my opinion, and
Yeah, sure.
because of this feminine society, even when women objectify themselves as sex icons in our videos, in our Nollywood movies, even one lady in the Big Brother said that she had done abortion 5 times, and she believes any woman that has not done that is not a woman. We don't see these things, but every time these things come in our society, we are tending to blame men. I was even surprised.
What exactly
how you jumped
is
from
the blame? Hold on a second. Let's even understand. What are you trying to highlight here as the blame?
I'm trying to say, for example, this morning you started women loving money over everything.
No,
At the end of the day, you were the one also saying you're encouraging women using money from prostitution to build 2 empires. How did we move from women using money as a quota, not intelligence? At the end of the day, you're the one supporting women using prostitution to gather money to build 2 empires.
Are you asking me? Or are you telling me?
I'm asking you. How did we move from the topic today? You were the one saying,
so
okay,
you
there's
think,
no more.
so you think, so just
because the society, we blame their parents, we blame the society.
Okay, hold on.
When is the first time we're gonna say women sometimes are bad? It's simple.
Okay, so just because
we have more truck drivers.
Are you going to let me speak? I want you to let
right.
me. Yeah. So just because I highlighted it doesn't mean I support it, and I think you should be intelligent enough to know that. You can't say that I'm supporting women prostituting to build houses. That's foolish. How can you call me to say that?
The bottom line.
Hold on a second. Would I let my daughter prostitute to build a house?
I'm just quoting what you said. You started from the point of
don't ever call me to tell me that I said that I support women prostituting to build an empire. You're in New York. What are you picking stones? You should get an education. Don't ever do that.
I'm quoting your words.
You can't quote me. I wasn't saying I would never support that. I made a reference in the debates to buttress a point.
He missed that part, obviously.
How did that go over your head? And then you call me and you're just going on about the fact that I said I support women to prostitute to build an empire. Do you know how daft that is?
I'm quoting you. So if I'm quoting you out of context, one said that more men prostitute more than women, which is false. It's like saying you have more female truck drivers than males. And we can argue that.
Michael,
that's supposed to be argued.
Beg your
we
pardon.
have more we have more men truck drivers than female. Doesn't mean we don't have female truck drivers. We have more female prostitutes than men. Doesn't mean we have more male.
I understand that you're emotional, Michael, but I guess you missed exactly what I said.
He's not emotional. He needs to be able to comprehend first. So that's not an emotional situation.
Joyce asked me, do you think
that's why
women...
because men that.
Michael, can you breathe for a moment? Just inhale.
Michael, do you
and
feel
exhale.
guilty? Michael, is there a guilt here? Is there a guilt here? I'm not judging you. Hold on a second. Wait, I'm not judging you.
All right.
I'm highlighting something here. And what we're highlighting is, so Sheriff, I think it was even Sheriff who brought up this, the history of prostitution.
Yes.
And then I went into the psychology of prostitution, saying for there to be this supply is because somebody is demanding for it. So now I think what you prefer to do is to say women are more, there are more women in prostitution, but you're assuming that women are prostituting for themselves. You're not saying that women are in prostitution because there are men who want their services. You're ignoring that part of the logic.
Well, there is no justification. I don't care how you look at it. There's no justification for prostitution.
Yeah, but now we're talking about how society. So here now we're talking about how society is creating its own. We're not going back. Are you?
I have lots of reasons to become a gigolo, but no. There are so many women that has no one sponsoring them and chose not to become prostitute. We don't have to blame society and parents all the time.
Oh, Michael, men and women make up society. Come on, man. The people that make up society are men and women. So,
Michael,
if we don't blame society, then whom do we blame?
Michael, come back from that New York. Let another Nigerian go. Michael, come back. Michael, come
Why
back.
don't you use the society as an excuse for a man that is a
Lord have
joke?
mercy.
Michael, come back. Let another person go. Michael, come back. Come
Joyce,
back.
at this point, I think.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Yeah.
Michael, come back. Let someone else go.
So let me also establish that the question Joyce asked me was, do you think?
Don't explain it.
No, because I think they sort of they've gotten so emotional that they missed my point.
No, it's not an emotional thing. It's a lack of comprehension.
Because I said that men are as equal in prostitution as women. Just because society has somehow made the spotlight, put the spotlight on women, doesn't mean that men are not prostituting daily. And that is what it is. I understand that you're emotional. I understand that you want to drag me, but it is what it is.
Stop saying he's not emotional. Yeah. He just needs to understand. He just needs to. I just wasn't. I'm not even. I just had too much heat
because
when
it
he
takes,
said that I support women.
He missed. So he did not understand the context in which that statement was
Michael,
made.
come back. Let Sheriff go.
He didn't understand the context in which that statement, and that's the problem I have with many Nigerians. They just pick a line and then run with it. They don't understand. They don't understand the full picture. They just run with something and think that is it. But there should be a place for logical reasoning, for understanding, for comprehension.
Then maybe this also informs this aspect of our collective social consciousness, where the men who lay with women judge the women and don't judge themselves.
Because if you're sleeping with a prostitute, you are equally a prostitute.
Telephone line.
It is what it is.
Not going to wait for the Nigerian version, Michael. Yeah. Oh, worthy of note. Welcome to the show, Nigeria Info. Good God.
Joyce Onyemuwa.
I don't owe you money, so when you call me like that, it better be because you want to give me money.
I purposely call down your new name because you say you love when your father to call you that name. I want you to be happy this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm happy. What's your name? What have you got? What's your name?
Ken Philip from Ikorodu.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joyce, I love the way you become upset somehow, but it's true that you collected that emotion. Maybe
stop! Don't do that thing where you're trying to. What do you warm me up? You want to piss me off some more? I'm not emotional. I'm not angry. If I have something to say, hold on a second. I'm a passionate person, so I speak passionately. It's nothing else. It's just what it is. Don't make it any worse now.
All right, Joyce, let's move on. No problem. I understand you. You know, as we said, if there is no somebody that presents a market, who is going to buy it? That is the simple truth.
But the women are not prostitutes because they are trying to create a market. The market already exists. There's a demand for it already.
It's 50-50, Joyce.
Okay.
It's 50-50. If there's no women, there's no men. If there's no men, there's no women.
No, that's not what we're saying. No. If there's there's a promiscuous demand.
Yes. I think the truth is this: we do
more like a sex demand.
Let's not underline the genders. The men are more to that, because if the men are not demanding for that, I think nobody's coming out to stand for that kind of.
How does this thing that we're seeing in society today? How is poverty playing a role in our social collective consciousness?
Yes. That poverty of a thing, Joyce, is very great thing that we are suffering, because the mind of poverty is very deep. You know, most of the time they will say that they just want to use what they have to get what they need because of those just when they want to eat that moment, or maybe because of material things that cause this argument. When you talk about, look at this the movie, I mean, the first note you pray for us. The girl was even proud and quoting that he wear Katia, wear this and that. It's because of that material things, and this is the amount that all these things cost. And most of the women that are myopic that are listening to her may join because of poverty mentality.
Yeah, but the problem is not just women myopic. It's not just a women thing. It's a man. So we have a society where we are cultivating a poor way of thinking, a poor way to judge things in general. Imagine judging someone because his shoes are not designers.
Yes, those are. This is what I call.
Or judging someone because he doesn't have a certain type of car.
Because if you know what, do you know what I call poverty? When you are poor in mind, but if you know that you are poor because you don't have today, it's a different case. that tomorrow you will have enough. If you have that belief, Joyce, as you are in that station, nobody can convince you because you know you can afford anything tomorrow. You cannot afford it now, but tomorrow you can afford. That is simple truth.
Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate. I would like to know what women think about this. Welcome to the show. It's worthy of note.
Hello, Joy. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you very much for calling. You tell us your name, where you're calling from. You go ahead.
My name is Onyemuwa, calling from my job.
Good. Good to have you.
Let me start this way. I love everything about you. And the reason I don't like to call when you are discussing about your gender is because you can offend anybody. And I don't want you to offend me. I don't want to offend you. But when you are discussing your gender, don't moderate call. Let us call. Let us talk the way it is in our mind. You are good, though, in everything. But when you want to talk about your gender, everybody must follow your line.
So you think
like
I
that.
support women? Is that what you're accusing me of? Do you think I support women?
Don't call it excuse. As in, if you replay your program, when it is about your gender.
Okay, so what have you got to say? Well, what?
Okay, so now, this is my take. It wasn't so like that before. In the 80s, in the 90s, even early 20s, men don't see women as a property. So what's wrong? When somebody that is not dressing, put all the breasts outside the road, then women will begin to notice that, load. So that psychology of men looking against those things, so the psychology now is like, let me trade. They want to sell market. And without offending you, let me just say this in the conclusion. The way my opposites get paid, I'm not sure that we'll be married anymore because sex is now so cheap. So there's so much.
Sex?
When I can satisfy myself without marriage. What's marrying again? That is where they are going, and it's dangerous.
Okay.
So basically, people get married for sex, to have sex. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and he was really making sure he didn't offend anyone.
Yeah, and the part that he said that, prostitution was not like this in the 80s. Now, that just goes to show that, I don't know, he sounds like a man who was born, quite a while ago, but to say that it wasn't like this just sort of leaves me
I'm sure he may have
smacked.
He may have like a...
because prostitution is as old as time. So
yeah, so maybe it wasn't... Maybe it wasn't this... I mean, now there's social media, so it's just like times 4, right?
Okay, maybe that.
Maybe now there's social media and you have
because prostitution has always been.
Yeah.
Allen Avenue is popular for a reason, Joyce. And it did not become popular today. It did not become popular in this day and age of social media, quote and unquote. Allen Avenue became popular.
I remember in secondary school, they used to sell pornography magazines.
We used to sell soft porn in magazines.
Those things were not soft.
Well,
they were wild as beasts. Like, did you read those things?
I didn't.
Skype, Nigeria Info. Hey, welcome to the show. How are you? Skype, hello.
Hey, Joyce.
Yeah, welcome.
Good
afternoon.
morning.
Okay. So I have a minute before break, a commercial break.
I'll wait.
Yeah, good. But you can go ahead. There's 30 seconds between here and then.
No, I want to wait.
Okay, good.
I want to wait.
Oh, good. So you're going to wait. If you're on Skype, I want to make this announcement, please. If you're a Skype caller, please, I want you to understand that I'm speaking to someone on Skype right now because I'm seeing like a long list of callers behind the caller that I've picked. I'll say please wait one after the other. It's just so that we are able to allow each and every one of us have fair opportunity to air our view on how poverty is inducing new standards and creating a new version of what we may be forced to accept as social morality. And God help us, because we look like we're going to hell in designer bags, gold jewelry, Gucci shoes, China hair, Veruvian hair. Wow, we're off on a break.
We report, you decide. Topical conversations that matter to you.
There are people for personal, religious, whatever reasons who do not want to take a vaccine. And I think they have the rights.
They cannot go to stop insecurity. It's to force people to take vaccine. Let them come and kill me. I never take it.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Cloud Talk Concert is back. Be part of Africa's premier creative community. Come share your inspiration and experiences with some of Nigeria's best content creators, including Folagade Banks, Miss Dems, Miss Wine, Jay on Air, and many more. With live music performances by Iomap, Magic, Bayani.
Drop my money for me, yo. Pounds and euro, got it.
And many more. Your host, Annie Olua, Cloud Talk Concert will take place on June the 29th, 2024. Time 5 p.m. The venue is Jewel by Ida, Hakeem Dixon Link Road, Lekki, Lagos. Register for free at www.cloudtalkconcert.com. CTC is supported by Teasers and Infinix. Cloud Talk Concert. Talk just got lit.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.
Hello, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome. Caller from where? And tell us your name, please.
Hey, Joyce. OC, calling from Canada.
Good to have you. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I agree with quite a few things. I think I got a bit concerned when you guys had the discussion with Sheriff and Yvonne. I think that's her name. Yeah. So I think because it's a radio, it's good for us to always stick to the facts than our emotions.
So what is the fact in your opinion?
Me, I'm driving.
Yeah.
So where I'm driving at is, I want to paint it this way. So in 2022, if you read the statistics, there was a stat that came out and said, there was like a high number of domestic violence and then marriages broke up during COVID. And while this data was presented here in Canada, like I attended the conference, on that same presentation, we had a separate presentation for domestic violence. So it turned out that men had higher rate of domestic violence than women. However, women reported it more. So the way it was presented was, so in an heated argument, or let's say you're having a back and forth with your partner and all of that, or maybe your partner, sees you with another lady or caught you in the bed and all of that. A lady is, according to the stat, the lady is more prone to at least slap, even if it's one.
So is this a Nigerian statistic or in Canada? Can you hear me?
No, in Canada.
Okay.
So,
in Canada.
Yeah, in Canada. I'm driving somewhere. So a lady is more prone to, based on, I don't know if it's based on her emotion, but to at least slap the man. How would you do this? Why would you do this and slap them? That is not in itself counted as domestic violence. However, if you flip it, and then a man catches his wife and something like that, and then raises his hand on his wife, and it's counted as domestic violence. What I'm trying to say, now linking it to what, I don't know who said it, I don't want to quote anyone, but we're trying to balance this whole thing that, men are as materialistic men are as, promiscuous as women, or something like that, about the whole prostitution thing. The fact is, yes, there are a lot of men who are out there, do things for different reasons, but visibly, in our very eyes, women do these things more than men. Fine. There's a market, there's buying, and there's demand and supply and all of that. Then secondly, and then most importantly, can you hear me?
I'm waiting for you. No, I can hear you. No. I'm with you. I'm waiting for you to land because I really want to hear what it is you're trying to say. So I'm not sure why he made the domestic violence thing, and maybe it applies to some degree. But I think the Canadian society is more egalitarian. In fact, that's what egalitarian society is. And I think the women have privileges there. And I don't know what's informing the slapping the person first. But that's not exactly the figure that you can use in Nigeria. In Nigeria, there are domestic violence against men. Now, I don't even know what the figure is, and this is not to suggest that I'm sure as to where would have it most, but what has been reported most is the violence against women. So this is not to negate the fact that there's no violence against men, but in terms of which it has a tendency to occur more frequently, it'll be the violence against women. That's more prevalent in our society. Plus, if you look at our culture and look at the way religion even induces your culture in its sermon and propagates this whole patriarchal submission thing in your culture, so I'm not even sure the necessity for that reference, but I'm going to wait for you to call back. It's 2 p.m. We're off on a break. We'll be right back.
It's 2 o'clock.
The
Headline News on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, a break from the sunny side to give you the headlines. Federal government offers 17 new oil blocks for bidding. Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission extends deadline for submission of pre-qualification documents for oil block licensing. Reps summon NNPC, AGIP, other oil companies over alleged $72 million diversion. Federal government plans $100 billion expansion fund to promote and preserve Nigeria's cultural heritage. President Tinubu flies private jets to South Africa, avoids faulty presidential aircraft. Proposed shipping regulatory bill triggers fears of higher governance costs. Lagos State government wants pupils to maintain hygiene as schools resume over cholera. Lagos dedicates 3 call hotlines in event of any suspected cholera case in schools. NDLEA and United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime kick off activities to mark 2024 World Drug Day. Court documents reveal how $6.2 million stolen from CBN during Godwin Emefiele's tenure was shared. Police Service Commission asks President Tinubu to sack IGP Egbekun recruitment saga, while Federal High Court sitting in Abuja denies suspended DCP Abba Kyari bail again. Federal government seeks UNESCO's recognition for Ojude-Oba Festival. Normalcy returns to Port Harcourt City as police take over local government secretariats. Governor Fubara inaugurates caretaker committee chairman for Rivers State local government authorities. Governor Fubara orders probe of local government chairman's tenure. On the foreign scene, deadly blaze breaks out of ammunition depot in Chad. South Africa's President Ramaphosa to be sworn in for second term soon. North Korean leader Kim backs Ukraine invasion as Putin visits North Korea. And tributes paid to true giant of baseball, Willie Mays, renowned for spectacular over-the-shoulder catch during 1954 World Series. Those are the headlines. Let's back to the sunny side with Joyce. I am Yvonne Okaifo, and you're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always intriguing.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone. The reconstruct, shaping, remodeling of social morality and new standards. And I think poverty kind of plays a role, and I thought we'll talk about that. Welcome. It's worthy of note. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's 3 minutes past 2 p.m. Skype caller is back. Skype, if you're a caller on Skype, please one after the other. After you, my Skype caller, I go to the telephone lines. But first, your name again. You say you are...
Hi, Joyce. Osi from Canada.
Good, thank
you.
Sorry,
we're having like a heat wave, so the network is,
Your heat wave affects your network. Okay, I'm glad you're here.
Wi-Fi, because I'm using the Wi-Fi. So,
okay.
So I was talking about like the domestic violence, and then secondly, it was earlier this year. We were talking about, so we have like a month where we celebrate, not celebration, but it's a month dedicated to talking about, rape. To use on the radio, but like child molestation and all of that. Oh, okay. So child molestation and all of that, and then there seem to be like a lot of people talking about the female version of it, and then the stat came out. It's just that, and I'll quote it. So it said 53% of women. So according to the reported case, 53% were women, and then the others were men. However, the figure they had before was 90% to 10%. So the conclusion was that a lot more men are violated at a young age. However, they are mostly not reported or underreported. Okay. Or, based on that, it's like, oh, you're a man now, after all, like you enjoy him and all of that. If you say you don't enjoy her, should be you had like somehow like there's a way to just say the whole thing. Yeah, but when it comes to the woman,
which country is that? Which country is that? You who molest a child and then you say you enjoy it? Which, Nigeria or Canada?
Oh no, this stat was from Sub-Saharan Africa and Asia.
Okay.
Sub-Saharan
I'm
Africa
and Asia. For you to touch it.
So now that I have quoted this too, I'm saying this because you brought up a topic, and immediately, well, not immediately, when when it was the three of you, it was like, oh, but men are this and women are that. And I'm saying all the time, like, we don't always have to bring the conversation to is it a man or a woman who does it more? Do you get what I mean?
No. Wait.
Okay.
No. Let me set you straight. So, Sheriff felt, I'm sure he felt he had something to say, and it was really good having him here to make an injection into the narrative, right? And so that initial chat that we had was pretty much off of, when you're talking to people and many ideas cross your head and you believe that your idea would help, but
so just
hold on a
as
second.
Well,
No, because I think you're stepping away from the conversation. So we're looking at how poverty can induce social standards or reduce social standards or pretty much corrupt social morality. And that was why I played you the audio. And I said, so this is what's happening. And at the beginning of the show, I said, I even had a temptation to lean towards the male until, what's her name, Vaughn said, oh, well, if women are gold digging, you also need to consider the men who are more willing. But the way it's patterned around the masculine is different from the way it's patterned around the feminine. And I've said this repeatedly. So this is not a man versus the woman sex war. That's not what this is.
That is where I'm driving at, and I'm happy you finally said it, that this is not a man or woman thing, because that's how it sounded to us, the listeners.
No. Hold on a second. Wait. You can't say us, the listeners, because I've spoken to people before you called in, and that was not the vibe I got. So I think you're making a reduction from something that you may hold or have a sentiment towards, but that's not the conversation. But even if you went there, you said that men tend to not report or underreport violations against them. Is that the point you're trying to make?
That's what the stat says. And yes, even personally, I know quite a few
and we
from
do not
my university days.
We do not disrespect that. But even if you even went there, the conversation was even more around prostitution. So you are talking about violation, where someone is violated, but the conversation was even around prostitution, like who prostitutes more. That was the angle Sheriff came from, and you're not even there.
I quoted those two examples to say that sometimes in some certain situations, it looks like one particular gender. So it's like in this situation right now, there is no argument that, like in terms of poverty and all of that, like that particular conversation, it is unarguable. Yes, there are men who do it, but there are more women who do it. And it just has to be that way. Instead of trying to balance, it's a 50-50, men do it as much as women.
No. Yeah, but you see, unfortunately, you can't quite balance because one, there is no law against prostitution. Two, there is no data for prostitution. We don't have it. We can't quite say how many Nigerian men, because there are pastors sleeping with people. There are pastor assistants, because would you count them? Then there are good old bosses. They're married men cheating. Are you going to count them? So the whole idea of this hold on a second, please. The whole idea of this whole prostitution is I think you are looking at it from the part where women stand on the road. And so in that regard, of course, women are on the road. But then there are men who are not on the road. And by the definition of what they are doing, it's not different from what the woman is doing, because he's doing it for gain. She's doing it for gain.
Okay. So
that was the part I was also trying to sample to Sheriff while he was here. But now we have to look at how acceptance of some things in society is changing social standards and morality.
Oh, yeah. So I'm hoping I'll get the data. Someday you bring up this topic again and I'll share it with you.
Sure, please.
But before I go, please, did you hear what Yvonne said? So North Korea has backed the Ukraine invasion. I don't know why you haven't started talking about the Russia thing and then the impending World War III, and then I don't know why you're not talking about
my version of the impending.
Hopefully someday, you're going to talk about some of this.
The only version of the World War III that I have is the one in the Masons, and that's the occult, and I can't share that. Everything else is in the news, and I'm waiting because they say they're not ready for a war. Russia is not necessarily admitting that it's a third world war. It hasn't said that.
There's Cuba. He's in North Korea. US has given the go ahead to launch. Like, these guys are it's like they are desperate about it. Like it needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
Kind of
So
thing.
so let's wait. The story is still developing. Let's see, because we don't know what he's in North Korea for. We're not sure if it's weapons or if it's back me up. I'm going against America. We're still waiting. He just landed yesterday now, right? So we're
Since we talk, if this war break out,
there will be no prostitution, hopefully.
there will be no nothing, no argument. Even Sheriff not able to go to now. Sheriff could not disappear.
All right, thank you so much for calling. And thank you very much for bringing that up. I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome to the show, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Hey, how are you?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us? It's good to have you here.
Yeah. This is Manuka from FaceTime.
Good to have you. Thank you so much for calling.
Joyce, although it seems we're kind of stayed away from
No, we haven't. We haven't. Don't please. We haven't.
Okay. I just want to say the sense of materialism has always been there. When I was growing up, my great grandfather married a woman that left him to marry a hunter because of meat. You understand?
Oh.
Which can translate to financial gains.
Yeah.
And I've seen that yesterday, incidentally, I read about somebody who said somebody's wife, olden days, left a man because of, and went to another man because of bicycle. The man he went to had a bicycle, and this man had it. There's always something that will attract somebody to move. There's always inducement. For those people who are materialistic.
So the women who did it in those days.
It's not complete.
But the women who did it in those days, do you know why they had done it? Like, because I know you say, well,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But although today, because of social media content, people try to exaggerate things.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But it's still the same thing. People will go to where certain things attract them, or when they feel comfort.
Okay. Now, when you look at the society today, how is this thing that we're accepting or permitting defining society? Because audio. Do you hear the audio?
That's social media content. Broke people still have girlfriends. People marry every Saturday and they're not billionaires. People forget, some girls will be misled by these things.
Okay, hold on now. Let me ask you. The people who marry, because there was something Vaughn said, that if the people who marry their social class, if they had, say, more money, they would marry differently. They wouldn't be married to who they're currently married to.
Yeah.
Good. If you say this is social content, are you not afraid that this social content, which is what's being consumed by the younger generation, is really what is becoming social mentality? Because this is one of 1,000 that I've seen in about a week.
Yeah, of course, it's going to impact.
Yeah, but you're saying it's social content. You're suggesting that this is different and reality is different.
Yeah, like that thing. But you should remain downline. People still fall in love. People still get married. People still. If it goes.
Yeah, but that's not a norm. That's not a norm. Last week on this very show, I spoke about love, and I was the only foreigner in the whole group.
Yeah, the way you spoke it is like, Joyce. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with them. It's
I'm
like,
an alien, right?
Love is a deal breaker for you. It's a deal breaker. No love, no relationship. And people are saying we can navigate relationship even when there is a 90% or a 70% love.
I don't know what you mean by
90%.
100%. Okay, well, so your society is safe, right? Your morality is secure.
It has always been there. People has always been safe.
You don't think it's worse off today than it was yesterday? You don't think it's worse off today than it was in the times of your father?
I don't.
You don't think so? Okay.
No. People will still leave people for money. People will still fall sick, and people will leave them. And it happened in the past.
Okay. All right.
Social media blowing. People are doing content. You do impossible.
Yeah, but the content is what people are consuming as information. You don't see the tragedy here? Okay.
Yeah, you go online and do certain things, but you come down within your society and you see your friends marrying somebody, and they are moving on. They are having children.
Okay. Well, if you insist,
people will still materialistic. People who love money will still love money.
Okay.
And people who are rational will be rational.
What about the proverb that if oil touches one finger, it can touch the other 10 fingers? You know that proverb?
Yeah.
So you're not suggesting, you don't think that if we permit moral degradation in society, it has the capacity to corrupt the innocent and the unaware?
Just what I'm saying is, we are looking at negative impact. I'm not saying there are positive things happening in terms of people behaving rationally.
I wasn't asking you to be optimistic. I was asking you to tell me how you feel that poverty can corrode or erode moral standards. But yeah, you've done a good job so far. Thank you very much.
Always eroded moral standard, even in the olden days.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Skype. Hello, Skype callers. Good to have you here. How are you? What's your name? And where are you calling from?
I'm Abiola. Talking from Manchester.
Good to have you. Thank you for calling.
As it was in the beginning, so it will be now, and it ever shall it be.
Okay.
Joyce, you know, when you're talking about the other person, I think from US, I have always right off my mind to say even the people who govern Nigeria, they must be people from inside. Okay. Let those of us that are outside bring in money, come and do business in Nigeria and sort out all some of this unemployment stuff. Not everybody outside this country, outside Nigeria, have this thing. So for me, that is that side. Now, Joyce,
I'm not sure what that meant. What was that import for? Because it was lost on me.
No. Let's leave that. I just chip that one in.
Okay.
Actually, is that men prostitute most.
Why do you say so? Just give us a...
My like I said, as it was in the beginning,
okay.
My father had 5 wives. How did he survive to get those 5 wives? How did he end up? We all know that when we in the 80s, in the 90s, it's still up to today. It is the social engineering that we have around that makes women, maybe peradventure, those women are travel out and they have seen that they too have freedom, and so they go back to Africa and they started exercising those rights. And that's why you have a lot of baby mama, single mothers all around. Women are not, African women especially, they never develop to be sleeping around. When they marry, they there. It is men who will marry here, he will marry second one, he will marry third one, and it's still happening in the north. So for me, it is the issue of prostitution is more to men than women. It is now the issue of this social engineering that is coming up, that is making women to be bold and say, if I have my economic life, if I can make money, I can ask my husband I can say fuck you to my husband and say wherever you like go.
Yeah.
I don't even need you. You can go ahead. And so we are having a lot more. But now if you now come to the issue of the poverty and prostitution, Joyce, if we have a saner society, a lot of people you see inside this thing, especially female, they don't want to go inside. I don't know if you have a video clip of this guy was going, he saw this lady,
Skype,
he wants to pick him.
Go ahead. I'm just telling the other caller to wait. Okay,
you want to pick her up. So he was like, what are you doing here? I said, you need a hook up. So the guy was like asking her, why are you doing this? He said he didn't get the job, he didn't have a job. See this lady speaking good English. He said she struggled to finish education. There is no work.
Is it a lady? I think of a lady that she's from the north, right?
Yeah, from the north.
Yeah, I think I saw that video.
From Kogi State.
I think I saw that video.
From Kogi State.
That her father married another wife and.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw
thank
that
you.
Video.
So she said it's not in her interest to be doing it. If you watch that video finish, she said she was with one man that was even using electric to shock her, and that man was sitting down inside the car and said, shock you? He said that is how he got the guy get his own sexual stuff from. He said, now do you stay inside? He said he stay because you have to collect the money. He said, how much did the person pay? He said the person maybe pay 50,000 or 30,000 naira. So if we are able to break the genes of, before we destroy the whole thing, because the way we are going, Joyce, the truth have to be told, I am afraid If we have free internet like we have outside this place, the manner at which internet have corrupted, this sexual stuff have corrupted internet. If we have free internet in Africa, we may have to destroy the whole thing. Wow. Because of what is on the internet when it comes to the issue of sexual stuff. So if we don't quickly gather up this morality, little one that remains, if we don't pack it together, build up a society. Like the other guy was saying that if something happens, we cannot blame it on the society. So on who will I blame that? Somebody is not fixing a child well. Me, I am doing my own. The other person is not doing his own. My own child go out. He met with another one. They corrupted him. Who will I blame? I'll blame somebody somewhere. So if we don't gather the little morality in us to build the society.
Pardon me, just to interrupt your thinking. Is there something that's wrong with the way we have idolized money that has demoralized us even as a collective?
Joyce, that is the whole thing that destroyed the whole thing. You raised an issue one time, and I was telling you the reason why this young boy started doing Yahoo. When they will have girlfriend, the big man in the society will take away their girlfriend because they don't have money to take care of that girl. So they went out to start doing Yahoo and say, okay, if it is you want money, we too will have money. And so that is how the issue of I have worked in a school environment before. If you have to interrogate some of these guys, what they are passing through, even with their girlfriend, with the big men in the society, you cry for them sometimes. So the issue of how money has become a god in Africa, even see how our leaders are stealing our money and bringing it to a society that is already well established. They will leave their country down there. Okay. So if we are, for me, if we are not ready, if we are not, because like I said, men, this thing we are talking about, this issue of prostitution, the only thing is that men have most of men have economic life, and that is how it's been. It's only women that used to fall victim of this economic problem too much. So it's women. If a lot of women too could be able to gather up their economic life, or the society was able to build, is built that way, you may not see them on the road. But the truth is that men do this thing more. And I've shown you an example. I've shown an example of my father, how he got 5 wives. You cannot see a woman, or it's very scarce to see a woman to say he's having a man, two man as an husband. It's very scarce. It's very scarce. Right. But you, even up to now, even the young generation, they will tell you they are having 3-4 at a go. 3-4 wives.
I think that's what they call them, partners. So I've heard someone say that they are polyamory or something, and they have like 3 partners. It's like weird.
Yeah. So but you cannot see for you to see a woman having 3-4 husbands. It's scarce. They are existing now, like I said, maybe because of the boldness they are getting from other. If you do it, we too can do it.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Like, well, it needs to be done we can do it too.
Yeah. Because that is the reason why Nigerian will leave Nigeria. When they come to this society, if the husband we have to
look. I want to thank you so much because I'm actually due for a break. I want to thank you so much for calling me. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you so much. Take us off on a break. We'll be right back. It's Nigeria Info. It's worthy of note. You're on the sunny side.
Stay one step ahead with the latest news and trending conversations here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.